Fellas, what is going on? You are now tuned into the All In Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Jenkins, and today I want to talk about a topic that is something I'm very passionate about. And that is, I really need for us men to understand you won't be Superman forever. You won't. You just won't be Superman forever. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't mean the Superman of playing as if, or no, just acting as if nothing hurts or nothing bothers you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the idea of the strength of your youth, lasting forever. Thinking more about your now than your future. Right? But that's important because a lot of us didn't have a man that really taught us about our future, that taught us about building brick by brick or creating something that will last. But we were taught to follow our impulses. We were programmed by TV and all of the music videos and things like that to go after low-hanging fruit and not make important decisions that pertain to our future. And man, as you get older, you will begin to realize, and time flies. When you're young and people tell you that time flies and you'll be older before you know it, kids, family, whatever you choose to do, like it doesn't sit in at that moment because you're just in your youth and you're having fun. But we know, especially as young boys, we have a certain type of strength that is just different, right? Like now I play basketball and, you know, being in my 30s, I play basketball. It's a bit different from when I was in high school. It's different when, you know, I was playing football in the backyard or playing basketball at the court, right? I could hit my head, I could bruise my shoulder, I could fall on my elbow and still feel like no pain, or not that you don't feel pain, but you don't bruise up. And not only do you not bruise up, you know, you might feel pain for maybe 20 seconds, maybe a minute or 5 minutes. And after a while, you wake up the next day, you're not really in pain, depending on how major the issue was. But you feel the strength of being a young, strong boy. And you live in that for so long. And when you live in that, you don't have anybody to teach you about what's coming, what's ahead, what to prepare for, how to be a man, what type of man you should be as you grow up, what place to put all of this strength and all of this knowledge and all of this wisdom that you have if you are fortunate enough to make a certain decision, or you have a mind to have the wisdom and knowledge that you have, right? We're not taught to use that strength for good. We're taught to waste our youth on money and girls and partying and clubbing and doing things like selling drugs and scamming and being in and out of jail, right? Especially I'm talking to us in the Black community that grew up in the hood, right? Like get the girl, like the things we learned about being a man and being cool. It was always about get the girl, and the guy that's cool, he gets all the girls and all the girls like him, and he could slick talk a girl. He could get inside her pants, and you know, oh man, the way he talked to this girl, he G'd her down, man. That's fly. Like he got 5 girls at one time. It's like, why? If we really think about it, why is that the epitome of being cool or manhood? It's what we were taught. But when you start thinking about these things, why? Why? And you know what I want you to think about? Think about that 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old, 90-year-old you. How does that benefit that man in the future? Something that my father said recently to me, I was like, wow, that's kind of powerful, although it's simple. Back in the day, you know, being Black, people were more harsh on dark-skinned people, and light-skinned people were closer to being white. And so my father was a light-skinned young man. He got his fair share of women, right? He was that fly guy, you know, the ladies loved him or whatever. And one thing he told me recently while I was on the phone with him at work And he was like, you know what, man? Everybody was constantly telling me, this is just, it's funny to me even now thinking about it. He said, everybody constantly told me how much I was the man. You know, you the man, you the man. Come to find out, I'm nothing but a man. And I was just like, wow, that's kind of powerful. Because in your youth, if you have money, girls, cars, all of that stuff, everybody sees you as this aspiring man to be, right? Because we want validation and affirmation through the things that we buy, through the things that we do. I got the girl, I got the money, I got the car. And it makes you feel like you're a man because that's what we seen growing up. We weren't taught what a real man does and how a real man acts and what a real man is. If we didn't have our fathers or a mentor or somebody to really teach us the way to go, we see, okay, get the car, get the apartment, get the money, get the girl, not knowing that me being a man goes past those material things or the things that I decorate my body with, like name brand clothes and chains and grills and a hairstyle. Who am I beyond that? And so I say keep your 80, 70, 60-year-old, 50-year-old in mind, because one of the things that bothers me the most is the fact that men had strength, they had power in their youth. It was so much that they could have done with their youth, but they wasted it all on frivolous, irresponsible things, vain things. And they find themselves getting to an age where they're older, whether they're in the hospital, they need help, and they haven't spent time and built a real relationship with their kids. They haven't done right by their ex-wife or the woman that stood by their side and wanted to be there for them. They haven't done right by the people that was closest to them. But as they begin to age and the older they get, the weaker they get, when they get to the point of realizing, man, life was not always going to be me, this young cat running around doing what I wanted to, how I wanted to, and everybody loving me because I could do this and I could do that, and I had the money and the cars and the girls, and they get old, especially when you're not doing it the right way, right? You find yourself in jail or dead, or your friends did, or you in the hospital, whatever the case may be, right? But why does it have to get to the point of being 50 and 60 and 70? No pension, no 401k, or no savings, nothing to show for it, nor do you have anybody to come to your rescue to help take care of you. Why are you 55 in the hospital, but your daughter won't come see you, your son won't talk to you? You don't have a wife that will take care of you or come be by your side and walk throughout life with you. Why? Because you decided I wanted to waste my life on things that did not matter. It made me feel good in the moment, but I have nothing that I built to invest my future on. I hear a lot of older men saying that, man, one regret I had is I did not stick by the woman that stuck by me in my younger years. I decided I wanted to be a hoe. And I thought 2 girls, 3 girls, 4 girls, 5 girls, 6 girls, 10 girls, 15 girls hitting my line made me the man. But in reality, it ended up being nothing. What mattered more was building a family structure. What mattered more was pouring into my kids. What mattered more was taking care of the woman that I will ultimately like to take care of me in the future. But I cheated. I wasted her time. Or I didn't take seriously the commitment. Marriage didn't seem that big to me. But it's only when you find out that your strength comes to a certain limit as you age and you get weaker and weaker that you realize all the stuff that really mattered, I pushed it to the side for all the quick fixes and the quick fun. This is why I say you won't always be Superman. Sooner or later, that strength from your teenage years, your preteen years, your 20s, your 30s, even your 40s, sooner or later it will run out. But you know when are the most potent times in our lives? When we realize, like, man, I'm down on my luck. I'm doing bad. I'm not in a good place. The thing that matters more than anything are the people around you. The people around you that come to your aid, that want to help you, that want to take care of you, that look out for you because you have been a man or a person that took care and looked out for others. And so I I believe that is very important. You want to know another thing? A lot of men tell me, because I often ask men all the time, what's something you proud of and what's something you regret? The number one thing that they say that they're proud of is the fact that they have children, at least, right? But one of the number one things that they also regret, other than not standing by the woman that wanted to stand by them, was that they didn't have their kids all by one woman, or they didn't have a family unit. They realized that they wanted to have a family unit. They wanted to be together, and they wanted to have a family. They wanted to have a strong unit that would stick by them in hard times. That's what they realized that they wanted all along. But it's not until those things came to the point of realizing, like, man, I've wasted my youth on things that I should have been focused on, that now I realize that, man, everything that could have been with me in the end when I had built something, it's all gone. It's no longer here. It's no longer around. I have nothing. I remember I was doing a job when I was younger. It was a warehouse job. And so when I was working in the warehouse, there was an older guy. I'm not going to say his name. Let's just say his name was Lavelle, right? So Lavelle, he was actually an addict at the time but I didn't know. And so what happened with Lavelle was, I seen that he was working his dead end job. He was an older guy, but he didn't really necessarily have that much money. He would have to call on his son to come and give him money and things like that, but he was still dealing with an addiction. And as I seen Lavelle, I was like, yo, you should be somewhere playing with your grandkids right now, having a good relationship with your son, maybe your daughter if you have one, having a family that is put together, having a strong family structure and unit. But that's not what's happening right now. I don't know what his life was like, so I can't say what he did, but we need to get out of this frame of mind, especially if you are a man. Y'all forgive me, I'm checking out some of my tech right now. Especially if you are a man that is in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, especially if you're in your later years, you need to realize that I don't have time to be wasting. And it's truly a shame, even women that age 40 and 50 and 60 are single. Not saying that it's a shame that they're single, but it's a shame that they're single and they don't want to be single, because there are a lot of men who still want to play around in their older age when they should be settling down, having kids, taking care of their family, building a life. Because you can have as many girls as you want to, and they could come to your aid and rescue. But what about the one who stands with you through adversity? What about the one that walks with you through all the troubles of life? What about somebody that cares about the deep things of your soul and your mind? And we constantly think that marriage is just a piece of paper, and marriage benefits women more than men, and it has no value for men. It's all about women. When you have a selfish mindset, of course it can seem like that. But men, we need that love that we can't get from anywhere else. We think it's easier with our homeboys. It's just less work, less responsibility. Of course, that would be easier to focus on in your younger years, but especially when you are older, settle down. And you don't have to be in a rush to settle down. But listen, there's either generally two ways you can go with this. If you say, I don't want to settle down, right? There's two ways you can go. Don't play with somebody's time. Don't waste somebody's time. Decide if you want to be single, you're going to be single. But if you have an urge to be with somebody and be in a relationship, then go the right way. Go the right way. Do it the right way. Go and court a woman, a good woman, and then get married. But we have to know that Superman is not forever. Sooner or later, you have to invest in your future. And I'm not just talking financial. We always have the financial and physical part up to par, right? Not everybody, but a lot of men. Okay, you got financial suited away. What about when you get weak? What about when you're in trouble? What about when you need somebody? What happens then? And so as we come to a close, I want us to think about some of these things, right? It's just some quick thoughts. Every moment you live only for now, you borrow from a future you haven't prepared for. The man who only plans for today will be surprised by tomorrow. Short-term thinking builds chaos. Long-term thinking builds legacy. If you don't plant seeds now, don't expect shade later. This is a big one. Living for the moment feels free until the consequence comes with interest. Future peace is purchased with present discipline. Every choice you make today echoes in a life you'll live 10 years from now. And it's not about fearing the future. It's about respecting it enough to prepare for it. A man who thinks for the future leads his life, his family, and his legacy with vision, not impulse. And so we talked about making sure that you do the work. It's imperative to make sure that we do the work. It's imperative to make sure things are squared away. And don't think you have to have it all done in 1 week or 1 year, brick by brick. Just keep laying the bricks. Just keep doing the right thing. And it's not easy. A lot of times we shy away from the things that are hard to do and think that we are strong. It's where you become strong by doing the hard things. You become weaker as you run towards the easy things. It's easy to not settle down. It's easy to not take care of your kids. And that's another big one. We have to invest in our children and the young folks around us, because your children are part of the people that will soon take care of you. Your son and your daughters will come to your aid and want to help you and take care of you because you took care of them, because you invested in them. But when you don't invest in the people that mean the most to you, your family, your children, your wife, you find yourself in a position where you wish you would have made decisions that were way different from the decisions that you have made in your youth. In your youth, it is not going to seem like it's that close. In your youth, it's not going to seem like you need to worry about it. In your youth, it's not going to seem important. What seems important is fulfilling certain desires that you have inside of you, but you need to deal with your issues, your mommy issues, your daddy issues, whether it's a self-esteem problem, a validation problem, an affirmation problem, a rejection problem, an abandonment problem, or you want to be loved, whatever it might be. Deal with yourself. Deal with yourself so that you can build something for your future. And even more, the people in your life or the people that you build your future with, you won't harm them or tear them down, because the world, the communities, the families, we need strong focus. Future focus, not just now focus, but future focused men, so that we can build a legacy, build a life for ourselves moving forward. So don't allow the thought of the strength of your youth to carry through all the days of your life. Because I know, and I've seen some men that are in their 50s or in their 60s or in their 40s, and they still want to be a playboy. But what does that result you? It is time to grow up and grow out of a childish mindset, childish habits, and a childish way. And if you don't believe me, go and find some other older men and ask them those two things. What's one thing that you regretted in your life and one decision that you're happy you would have made? What's one piece of advice you can give me? What's something I should think about for my future? And you see what they have to say. You see what they have to say about their life. I've seen the men who have a woman to take care of them, and they're happy they have it. A lot of times men trick off, and then they don't focus on a woman that was with them early on, but later on down the life, if they're in a wheelchair or they need assistance, they find a wife or find a woman that will help them and settle down. But that's not fair to the one who was there at the beginning. Not saying that you have to put so much focus on, man, I'm so terrible because I messed up there. Yes, you can. A man could have messed up, but we need to realize this before we get ourselves into the predicament to really make those decisions that won't be good and benefit us in the long run. So remember that every moment you live only for now, you borrow from a future you haven't prepared for. You won't be Superman always. That youth will run out, especially the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-olds. All of you guys listening now, even if you're younger listening, we have to remember, take this and deposit it inside of you. Think about this. Remember this. Because I remember just yesterday being 25, just yesterday being 21, just yesterday in high school. But the time flies. I never thought the time of me saying I've been out of high school for longer than 10 years would ever come until one year I realized it's been 10 and then realize it's been over 10. It's like it flies. But that's why it's important to use your time wisely and make good decisions with your life, because it's your life. You only get one here on this earth, and you need to make the right decisions so that you live a fruitful life and a good life. Life will have its stress and troubles, but what's most important is that you make good decisions so that you can yield the fruit of goodness. So until next time, I'm your host, Michael Jenkins. Peace.